When you change CPAP masks, it's a pretty common occurrence to leave part of that mask behind stuck in the tube. This will prevent you from plugging a new mask into that tube, which may prompt you to believe that it won't fit the mask. In this video, we'll demonstrate some examples and some solutions to this very common problem. This is a standard CPAP tube and is ready to connect to a mask. The most important thing to check is that the end of the tube is soft and malleable. All CPAP tubes have a malleable rubber end, and if it isn't flexible, there's something in the tube. In this example, we see that the end of the tube looks like one whole item, but if we squeeze the end, it's hard plastic. This is an indication that there's a piece of the mask stuck in the tube. To get it out, you don't want to pull it directly out, but instead wiggle it back and forth while pulling with constant pressure. Here, you can see an elbow piece from the mask sticking out of the tube. There are no tubes that have an elbow built in, so this is an indication that a part of the mask is sticking out. Pull this out the same way as the last one by rocking it back and forth. This situation can be somewhat deceptive. This shorter tube is also part of a mask. The tube actually starts here at this rubber point. Pull them apart from this point by rocking it back and forth. This next scenario is very difficult to see. It may look like a normal hose, but when you squeeze it, you'll see it's not malleable, which means there is something stuck in the tube. This white ring is the piece of the mask. You can try to pull it out with your fingers. But what I like to do is get the old mask and use it to create some added leverage. And then wiggle it back and forth and pull it out. Now that we've removed all the obstructions from the tube, we can now plug in a mask, and it should fit right in. So if you had any trouble plugging in a new mask into your old tube, or potentially using a new tube with an old mask, this should solve that problem.
When removing a CPAP tube from its equipment, do not pull from the middle of the tube. Do tilt the end cuff grip.